Hello, and you're back again for another episode of Ask Indigo Brown, embracing your black and blue moments on the Small Business Network podcast TV. Today's episode is going to be something serious. It's father's rights. Right now, there's a lot going on with father's rights and, the wrongdoings, the injustice, the backlash, the non sharing, you name it. So, Mr. Brown, a father navigating an emotional and legal complex between co parenting journeys. In this short preview, we're going to be talking briefly about experience and why it's not been working for him and his behalf. There seems to be some form of an injustice here, a non negotiation, a back and forth when it comes to just doing the right thing. It's not about you, it's about your children. And it's something that I feel that we need to be talking about. So, how are you today, Mr. Bradfield?
I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you, Miss Mom?
I'm good. I'm great. It's a new day and I'm alive. That says a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for
So
having me.
for those that are going to be viewing, for those that are not, here yet, for those that are still waiting for the show later, however you catch me, you catch me. Um I need your input. I need your advice. I need your comments. I need to know, what you guys think should be done or how it should play out or, if you know resources, we would love to get whatever it is that you have to offer. We want to allow fathers to be able to navigate the system, but also do right by their children and keep to the rules. Sometimes when we stick to those rules, they're not always fair. And, sometimes we need to fight back. And one dad today is going to talk a little bit about that in unfairness. And let's salute him and work with him on this, on this day moving forward. Mr. Bradfield, for the pre-recording, we're going to be asking you some questions. We're going to be dropping your show and the story you have to tell with yourself and your children and the struggle along the way. This will be set at a later date. We'll still be working on it as the process goes, but right now we're going to talk a little brief conversation, a little detail into what's going to be talked about later on and what people should look for when they decide if they want to come back and salute you in moving forward with this conversation. All you fathers out there that want to, address the fact that no one ever talks about men and men's rights. Well, now you have the time to talk about it. And I'm here to salute. I advocate for fathers and just things that are supposed to be right. Justice needs to take place and people have to speak up. Mr. Bradfield, your first question. Can you briefly introduce yourself and share what led you to speak out publicly about your experience as a father?
My name is Alfred Bradfield. I'm a 57-year-old father of three children. I'm from the South Side of Chicago, born and raised. Um, my situation is unique, in particular with my children, because I'm an older parent. I had my first child at 46, and I had two more to the date at 48. Um, So that's how much I'm invested in the situation with my children in their lives because I am an older parent. Um, let's say background, like I said, born and raised on the South Side. Um, come out the trenches, typical story. Made a lot of bad choices as a youth. I was subjected to the system and the state as a youth, and that's one of another deciding factors that makes me want to be so invested in my children's lives because I don't want them to fall victim to what I fell victim to as a youth. And I mean, I hope that answers your question. That
It's rare that you see dads wanting to play a role in their children's lives. You know, more fathers tend to worry about, okay, if they invest their time into their children, especially if they haven't had that and they want to be able to be that, and so much more to their children. And yet the struggles of having to co-parent, it's hard, because it's like, you're trying to teach something you don't know. And you're trying to fill in spots that were gaps in your own life. And you're trying to do the best that you can based on what you've experienced, because you know a lot of what you don't want, right? You've seen a lot of what you don't want to experience, and what wasn't fun and wasn't exciting and wasn't enjoyable. And so you know what not to do because you know what that is. But when it comes to enjoyments and you, what parent doesn't enjoy being around their children? Doesn't enjoy the funny, crazy, goofy, weird, strange things they do. And they're so intelligent in so many different ways that sometimes you look at them and wow, you knew that.
Absolutely.
Ex-
Absolutely.
Explain your experience being a father. What has that felt for you?
Well, well, let me start here. I want to start here because I like transparency, right? I want to be above board with everything I say. And the first thing I want to put out there, I don't do blanket statements because everything doesn't apply to everybody, right?
Right, right. We're all
But
people.
right, but we're putting a disclaimer out there. In our culture,
Right,
Black fathers have been given an out, right? They have not been held accountable. Black men have been allowed to make babies here, there, and the other, and go on about their business.
yep,
And then you have some fathers, Black men, who are engaged in this type, have babies with women, and they want to be invested in their children's lives, right?
right,
And you shouldn't, in my situation in particular, I shouldn't have to fight the mom and or the system to be a father.
right,
And that's the genesis of my situation, right?
right,
And then there's levels to it, right? Because if you have money, you have a fighting chance. If you come from the trenches, you poverty stricken, you quote unquote, you left subject to the system, to the state, right? And then therefore your family, your case, you're just another number, right? And if nobody's taking a real profound and particular look at the real case, then you just shuffle along.
right.
And these are real lives that are being affected here, right?
That's right.
These are real lives that are being affected. I've lived my life. My children's mom has lived most of her life. This whole journey that I'm on, it's about my children. It's for my children, right?
That's right.
And I mean, all I can do is try, like I said, be transparent and be open and just share our story because there's a story that is a real story. We are part of the community, you know. Um, we're in the trenches, and it's like I've been yelling and screaming from the top of my lungs from the rooftops in the system since 2016.
Right.
So again, this is a journey, and I appreciate you and your platform to allow our story to be heard because up until now, I was a fingernail close to giving up, right? Because like nobody's hearing,
Right.
right? And the effect has been profound on me, my children, and I'm sure their mother as well, right? I don't want to just throw her under the bus,
Of course.
all right? But at the end of the day, when the facts are laid out,
Right.
then accountability has to be held.
Right.
Has to be held.
That's right.
And the saddest part of all, the children don't deserve to be going through the things that they're going through.
Agree.
So I'm sorry, I don't know if I got off track, but yeah.
No, no, you're good. You're good. You're giving a good basis to the full conversation, the full story, and the full like moving forward. Right now is just a preview of what we want our viewers to know about a future video that's going to come out, that's going to kind of tell a story about your family and your situation, but also how the system treats fathers and how, fairness is not really always fair. And
No.
I agree, with a lot what you said, mothers have everything and mothers have resources and mothers don't really get the struggle like fathers do. And so like, when I see what fathers have to deal with, it's like, mom get it, moms get everything.
Yeah.
Pretty much handed to them. But fathers don't really get that resource. They don't really get that
No.
support and that
No.
hand that says, here, this is where to go, this is what to do, this is who can help you, this will
Yes.
help you provide, and at least because you're the father, you're supposed to already know what to do and have
Because
it put together and figured out. And
because I think, and I don't want to call it stigma, but traditionally society expects a man that produces children to be self-sufficient, be able to provide and take care of.
right,
That's pretty much the bottom line. That because in my situation, when I lay it all out, that's the only thing they can threaten me with, right?
but but but
Go
but
ahead.
this is the thing. This is the thing. And this is a bigger stigma. People don't realize it also takes the woman who decided to lay down with the
Absolutely.
man knowing that you are not responsible enough to take
Absolutely.
care of these children if they were to be produced.
Just
I
to
think they
piggyback on
need to
what you
say it
said,
louder for the back.
listen, not only you are so correct. No, I'm not even going into detail right now, but you are so correct. That's all I was saying. You are so correct, right? And again, like you said, as you said, society, the way things are set up, all the resources are geared toward the mother, right?
Right.
And even if I don't care if she can be the lowest of the low, right? She's given that
It
privilege,
don't matter where you come from, okay? It don't matter where you come from. It's how you handle it.
right?
It's how you go through it. Your trial, your tribulation, your story, what makes you you, what gives you your story. And that's what we want to do for you and your story.
Thank you.
So, without going into complete detail, what are some of the challenges you are facing trying to co-parent and be a parent and present in your children's lives right now?
Wow, that's a very good question. It's literally like been an uphill battle because compliance has been it doesn't mean anything, right?
Right.
And with the different institutions and agencies that I have to have to dealt with in the past,
Right.
from the circuit court, DCFS, CPD, CPS, it's all bureaucracy. It's all bureaucracy.
Yeah.
I've dealt with all of these institutions and agencies, and I can literally say my rights were either violated and or ignored. And each
It,
one from CPD, CPS, DCFS, and who else? DCFS, CPD, DCFS, and the courts. All
right.
four of those agencies. Literally ignore or violate. That I don't need to, what more can I say?
This is why I say that, for the amount of people that say that we're not allowed to vote or we can't vote or it's not going to matter. Look, it's going to matter in the places that count. Who becomes president? At this point, who gives a damn? But who's running your cities? Who's in charge of you? I'm
Yep,
cared about that. If I gotta go to jail, if I gotta go to court, if I need something from the city and I need something from the state, I need to know that I can count on those people. That I
absolutely.
know who I'm putting in office. Who's in charge of the world? I don't give a damn because they don't give a damn. But when it comes to somebody who's running where I live, my home, make it make sense. Make it look right because it don't make sense. There's no equality for real.
No,
There's no justice for real. There's no advocating or looking out for you for real. It's a nice look. It's there, but we'll get back to you. We can't really help you right now because it's we working on some other stuff right now. We'll take a number. You're waiting forever. You don't get the help you need. You're not going to get the help you need. And social media, this is for entertainment purposes only, okay? Like, yes, real life conversations, but what I'm saying, don't take it personal. Don't take it to heart. And everybody else, step back. Because it's freedom of speech and I have the right to speak. Justice is right. The things that we're asking for are right. If you're not doing your part to do what we positioned you to do, then why are you there?
exactly.
On to next question. What impact has the situation had on you and your children, mentally, emotionally, and physically?
Oh, I'm not even gonna speak for me because I'm a man, and this is what I'm built for, right?
Right.
To fight, and I have to pick the fight that I want to fight. But the impact that it this is the impact that it's had on my children, to see their development not being realized because of this situation.
Right.
My two oldest children, it's the obvious, the behavior, right? The 504s, the IEPs, acting out in school, you know, being aggressive. My youngest child, it affects him on a totally other end of the spectrum where he's feeling vulnerable to the point where he has threatened to harm himself more than once, right? And it's just so heartbreaking.
It
And
is detrimental.
yeah, yeah. So I currently have my oldest son in therapy. My other two children are in her custody. They're not in therapy in the moment, and I'm fighting to get them back into therapy. But yeah, that's pretty positive. Much of the impact it's having on them is that
Right.
is it's definitely been traumatic.
Right. Their emotions matter. Their feelings matter. Like how this is affecting them matters. Their voice matters, especially if they're old enough to talk about what they feel and, and express what they're going through and how it's affecting them. Like when they're going through trauma or PTSD, post traumatic stress syndrome, then they hold on to these emotions and they take it out in other ways: aggravation, anger, frustration, abuse, violence, destruction, self-harm. There's a lot of things that goes through someone's head when they feel ignored, not listened to, not valued, not understood, not paid attention to, made time for. Like, they go through things.
And again, not to interrupt, but again, the parameters and the polit and I don't say politics, but there are levels to this, right?
Right.
If a child can be experiencing abuse or neglect from different people and caregivers in their life,
Right.
but if it's your primary caregiver that you're receiving this trauma from, that's a totally different level.
That's
If
right.
it's your primary caregiver, your mom, that's the initial cause, and you can't process it, and you're conflicted because you love any person, all of us. Nobody, you don't love nobody in this world more than you love your mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for you have to, as a child, to process that my mom is actually the problem. That's
Yeah.
kind of fucked up. I hate.
I know. Breathe. I know. I know.
You can ask me another
I
question.
and and I got experience. I understand wholeheartedly. I understand, man. You don't even know. There's levels to how much I understand
Yeah.
what you're experiencing. So I get it, man. But that's why we're telling everyone, whoever tunes in later, we're gonna catch you on the recaps. We're gonna catch you at the moment. We're gonna catch you as we catch you. For those that tuning in, we want to tell a story. We want the children to be able to talk about what they feel, and we want to know what they're going through. Like they're people. Like we have to look outside of ourselves, and we have
Yes.
to look outside of the fact that okay, they're our kids. Okay, but they're more than just your kids. They're their own person.
They
They're
are.
experiencing their own experiences. They're going through whatever it is that they're individually going through. So you have to look outside of yourself sometimes, sometimes and say, you know, any real parent, and y'all know who I'm talking about. Like there's moments where you can look at your kid and you say something's wrong, something ain't right. Because normal, I know this child's behavior, how they respond, how they act, how they move, what they do, how they respond. They're more active or not active. They're more isolated or whatever. Like we know our kids, man, and so we can tell when there's a change. And if you think that someone outside's not looking, they could tell too. Someone who really knows this child and knows that this child playful and adventurous and a go-getter and doer, something's different, there's a problem. Now we got to investigate. Where's the problem? Where's it coming from? Is it at home? And if it is, usually it is. And if it is, like, where's it coming from? Is it from mom? Is it dad? Is it grandparents? Like, is it extended family, friends? Like, what's going on? Because they were this way, and all of a sudden they're changed. Something switched. Something happened. And that's a common thing this time. These times, as I'm seeing, as I'm going with parents that have children in these younger ages now at our time, like, it's crazy to see that they are so advanced, they're so experienced, they're so understanding, they know so much, and life is so ugly right now. It's sad. I feel for you parents, man, right now that got young ones. I don't got young ones anymore, but like I remember, man. I remember. I
That's
feel
for
for
sure.
you. So we gotta definitely tell. We gotta show the audience, like, your story in a full perspective. We're not gonna bash. We're not gonna shame. We're gonna tell a story, and, like, people need to understand that it's not easy being a parent first, and it's not easy being a co-parent and a parent of right now we're talking about a father. A father is even worse because you don't got
Exactly.
the extended benefits. So
I
I get
don't. I
it.
don't. And at the end of the day, like you said, it's not about the bashing. It's not about the shame. But at the end of the day, a light has to be shined, right? And and
Right.
and if I can share this, before I had this opportunity to share this story, right?
Right.
I cannot expound how many conversations I've tried to have with her. So we should never even be to this point, right?
Right.
It shouldn't even be this.
Right.
It's I in my look. I've never thought I would even raise my children in a broken home, let alone can't co-parent with the woman that I procreated with.
Right.
It is mind-boggling to me, right? And again, like I said, it's not about the shame and none of that, but accountability has to be held. And the
Yep.
only way that the, we're going to be better parents for the children on both parts, not just her, me as well.
Right.
Accountability has to be held.
Right.
A conversation has to be had,
Right.
not just one. We need to be able to communicate on any
On
level
a regular basis.
when it's pertaining to these children.
That's
Any
right.
conversation outside of that, ma'am, let me not curse because I was about to say something because I don't care about what you got going on if
Right.
it's not detrimental to the children,
Right.
and it should be vice versa. You
Right.
should have no opinion about what's going on in my life.
Right. And nor
If
your
it,
nor your you with her. It's
exactly,
not about y'all. It's about them
it's not.
kids.
It's about the kids. That's first, foremost, and always. That's all
That's
it's
right.
supposed to be about.
That's right. So, question 5. What would you like to say to other fathers, other families, or legal advocates who are, able to make a change to support and relate in your situation? And why would they want to tune in into your full interview coming soon?
That's the tough one. One thing I would like to say to people who are in position to make a change, stop looking the other way. Stop being a pencil pusher and a paper shuffler. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a position to affect change, do that. If you're in a position to do the right thing, do it. It's hard to do the right thing. That's why so few people do it.
Right.
That is profound. And anybody who any father, if you are a father and you, because me as a father, fundamentally, my belief is I need my children more than they need me. That's how I live, how I move, what I believe. So if you are a father, don't let nobody shut you down, shut you out, or shut you up.
Mm.
Man, your children need you, just like you need your children. So, hey, this is what God put us here for. We didn't ask for it, they didn't ask for it. So let's
That's
step up.
that's right. All right, so we're gonna cut it short, guys, because we're not gonna give you the whole scoop now. You gotta stay tuned. So until next time, I'm Ask Indigo Brown. Please stay tuned for the next episode, the drop of his full story, how he goes deeper into conversation on the battles and the struggles he's been dealing with. the injustice he's been experiencing and not getting what he needs, just like a mother's privilege and personality and able of being able to do, because that's unfair. Women get it all. Why not dads? And if you have any support, or if you know someone that can assist him in this situation, we are in the Chicagoland area. We would love some support for him and his father's rights. You can definitely advocate for him, speak up for him, or maybe send him in the right direction in helping him get some justice, some fairness, some equality in his situation. We will be dropping a full series episode coming soon, so please stay tuned. Follow along in his story. I will be dropping more information along the way. And until next time, I'm Ask Indigo Brown. This is Mr. Bradfield. And until next time, we will see you again on the SBN Small Business Network Podcast TV. Bye, guys.
Thank you.